Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of phone call. Where's my phone? Oh, sorry, phone call. Yeah, you see, totally transparent, no facade, like as real as it gets. So anyway, yeah, and totally unprofessional. Okay, let's go to okay. So again, we're gonna restart the beginning again. So welcome to the situation report for the day of 875 for the 17th of July for the Ukraine war or the special military operation in Ukraine. And we're going to start off with frontline changes report. There's a lot of frontline changes. Everything is red. So, for the pro-Ukrainians, you can tune out now. There's no good news. Anyway, there's frontline changes that started here. Vovchansk, Stepova, Novoselivka, Turny, Kalinina, Zelizny, Bivnishny, and Vodyane. So we go into studies here. So over at the Kharkiv front, based on the Russian mapping, the based by Ribas mapping, this is not a very accurate version of the mapping. But this is based on something based on how I can see it, because they didn't really show a zoom in version. So but for based on what I can observe, the Russians mapping have claimed the entire of studies here, and so this corroborates with the Russian Defense Ministry's claim that they have captured studies here. But this is not captured. This is just a claim. So the Ukrainian mapping will not change. The blue mapping will remain, and then we will just wait for geolocation and other information to corroborate whether the Russians have such a big change or but more advanced position in this area here. So after studies here, we have frontline changes at Vodyane. So according to the Russian reports, the Russian forces have actually managed to advance and control the entire industrial area, and they managed to straighten the front line and have a better connection with the Russian forces over at the aggregate plant. So that's about it. It's still a claim. It's not really a confirmed thing yet. But it does make sense. I don't think the Ukrainians can hold that position. So anyway, we move on. The next frontline change is over at Stepova, Novoselivka, over at the Kupyansk front. So Kupyansk, Stepova, Novoselivka. So there's a geolocation of Russian forces in the south of Stepova, Novoselivka along the railway, making advance in the westerly direction. The front line, the move is around half a kilometer. So even though this is very zoom out, it looks very small, everything looks very near, but actually these are all massive fields, huge expanse of ground. So even this small little poke over here, this poke is actually 500 meters. So it's actually pretty far of a distance to capture in a very heavily contested area. So after Stepova Novoselivka, we go into Turny. Over at Turny at the criminal front, there is Russian forces geolocated. This is one of the latest information in this Gali region, and this confirms Russian capture of this sector of territory, and this also invalidates some of these Ukrainian claims that was overlapping the Russian ones. So Russian forces is now heading in a different direction. So previously they were attacking in this area here, and they do not have much success as the Ukrainians managed to counterattack in this area. So now the Russians are going to try a new route. So let's see how this develop. And the next frontline change is over at Kalinina. So over at Bakhmut front, so this is Bakhmut city, and at Kalinina, some massive news coming out from this region. The Russian forces has captured Kalinina. This is based on Deep State U8 Ukrainian mapping, where the Russian forces have captured the entirety of this area here in a massive development of the front line lining up along the canal. As I mentioned multiple times, this is where the Russians are planning to do. They're trying to capture everything east of the canal. They are not going to cross the canal. I don't think they're going to cross the canal. There is no reason to go over there until you really consolidate your grounds and on the eastern part of this canal. Anyway, this is what happened. This is reported by the Ukrainian side, so this is not propaganda from the Russian side. So it's just propaganda from the Ukrainian side. So the next frontline chase after Kalinina is at Zalizny. So over at the New York front, at the battle of at the Toretsk offensive, Russian forces have made advances over at Zalizny as well as Pivnishny. There's two different regions. So based on the mapping by Deep State UA, they have disclaimed this area here. So meaning that the Russians have now have a more advanced position, and they have captured at least another high-rise building around here, so controlling much more grounds and actually getting closer to the Russian mapping in this area here. But the Russians seems to be pretty fine about holding a positions around here, so we will just wait and see how this develop. Pivnishny's advance seems to have slowed down by a lot. I'm not sure if it has something to do with this massive castle. No, I call this hill castle. It looks like a castle to me. Is that Bakhmut? The high-rise buildings, cluster of high-rise buildings look like a citadel. I call it a citadel, and somehow other sources starting to call every single cluster of high-rise building citadel. I don't think it should be worked in that way. It should look like a citadel if you want to call it a citadel. So this looks like a castle. So this is a castle. I did saw a geolocation claiming this area as a citadel. Not to me. It doesn't look very citadel-ish to me. I mean, if you look at Bakhmut's citadel, I know I'm moving away, but you can see this cluster of high-rise building. This is one massive citadel. This looks like a very, very powerful defensive position. Not this one, right? Not this. This is nothing. This is something that the Russians have already captured around here. So it's not a citadel. I just want to clarify, because people are starting to use my terminology and then they don't understand why I call it that way. So anyway, this castle around here might be defending this entire area, causing the Russians to be unable to move forward because of the advantage, the height advantage around here that the Russians have to deal with. So, and over at the Zalizny, the Russians continue to hook up and capture a school along the way, and so now the Russian soldiers can get educated. Education is very important. So if you are still schooling, remember to do your homework, study for your test. Your spelling is very important. Do maths, build up your logical skills. If not, one day, if you grow up and you don't study, you might end up becoming NAFO. So it's a bad career choice, and you will look very silly and stupid. So don't become NAFO. Study hard. Okay. So that's all from Zalizny. And the last frontline change, we move all the way to Vodyane, and this is one massive thing. Remember, I just told you just like 1 or 2 sit rep ago that there must be some kind of attack at advance in this area, but due to operational secrecy, we're not getting the information. Because it's the front line. Everything have to be kept secret, and now the secrecy is unveiled, and now we have Russian forces geolocated, basically just off the highway. Can you imagine that? So this geolocated by Crimean Caprice. So they have geolocated motorized rifle unit just off the highway at this position, and this is extremely advanced position. And from the furthest point in terms of from our mapping, this is more than 5 kilometers. At the shortest point is at 3 kilometers. Along the tree line, probably around 3 kilometers plus. This is a massive advance. And of course, this has not happened over 24 hours. This happens over a week at least, because we haven't had much map updates around here. And given the previous map updates that we have, the frontline changes that we have, I know that the front line here has already collapsed. The defense line is already totally collapsed, and the Russians are going to make quick progress, but there is always no updates. So this is exactly what I'm trying to say. When updates comes, it's going to be shocking, because the front line have already collapsed. The Russians are moving much faster, and if they don't report it for multiple days, once the information drop, it's going to be shocking. And this is exactly what has happened. Russian forces captured massive amount of grounds around here. They're going down along the these lower grounds and the tree line. And clearly this area here is untenable. I don't think there's any Ukrainian forces around here. They probably would have bounced by now. And the Ukrainian forces along the northern part is going to be under stress as the Russians have already reached. And with this Russian forces around here, this is going to change the entire strategic situation around here. The logistics of the Ukrainians are going to be heavily hampered by this capture. And this brings us extremely close to Vodyane, and Vodyane is just here. You can see the Dacha region. Oh my god, this Dacha looks like some graveyard, man. So anyway, so this brings them basically just less than 2 kilometers away from Vodyane, and we are now moving this fighting towards Vodyane. We start to indicate it over here. So serious development over this area here. So anyway, these are the frontline changes report. And if I happen to extract this into a extracted report for the main channel, so do press the like button, subscribe, and check out the rest of the SIP rep over at the DPA War channel. So just in case, maybe I would not, So let's go into the strategic and tactical reporting. Over at the Kharkiv front,